early, Kyle. I just pressed the go button a little bit too soon. Open days, there we are.
Yeah, better early than late. And if you're early, you're actually on time in my book. That's how I like it.
Yeah, well, welcome in, guys. I just pressed the go live button 7 seconds early, so not too bad. I don't know, got a bit trigger
Isn't that a
happy
lucky
there.
number for most people? Isn't 7 supposed to be a lucky number? Hey, by the way, Meredith, here's a little trick you can try. And everybody out there, give this a try. If you catch somebody on the spot and they don't have time to think about it, just say to them off the cuff, hey, think of a number between 1 and 10.
Okay.
Most people, 9 times out of 10, will say 7. So what you can do is on a piece of paper, just write the number 7 and then just fold it and keep it in your hand and say, hey, think of a number between 1 and 10. They say 7, just open the paper and say, I knew it, and then go on with your day, and they'll be amazed.
What if they see something else?
You say, oh, I was thinking of something else, and then you move on too. They don't know what you're doing.
Well, Kyle, if you can do that, you may as well have, a few numbers in different pockets,
Yeah.
You could have, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10 up your sleeve. And then...
Covering the bases. I like the way you think. I'm just all about the risk. It's more exciting if you get it right. You just go, hey.
Well, I actually thought of the number 4 there. So your trick would not have worked. Your Jedi mind tricks wouldn't have worked on me.
We were talking about it. It was already happening. We were talking about numbers. It has to be completely out. You got to change the topic. Somebody's busy talking about all their car trouble. And then you say, oh, by the way, think of a number between 1 and 10.
Anyway, it's Earth Day, Kyle. Come on, let's get back on track. Right, it's Earth Day, guys. Welcome to the session. And we would love to know who's here. So give us your comments, bring your comments in, whether you're joining us on YouTube, on Twitter, or if you are on our new StreamYard live stream. We've got a direct link to this live stream now. So if you've ever had trouble joining us on YouTube because it's blocked at your school or whatever, we've got a custom link. So we should be able to get everybody who wants to join on board. So give us a shout, say hello, let us know where you're joining us from. We've got 2 graphic challenges for you today. So we're going to be doing a load of graphic design today. We're going to get the challenge page up. And if you want a head start on the challenge page, it is scrolling along on the bottom there, bit.ly/expressearth24. But before we open up the challenge page and have a chat about it, let's talk about the 3 golden rules of Digital Leaders Club, which are rule number 1, Kyle Webster, is what?
So I was going to come up with 3 rules for what to do for planet Earth, but I didn't have time to plan it.
Planet. Right, nice.
Terrible joke. Rule number 1, you can pause anytime you like. That way, you're not going to feel like you're being rushed. So if we're moving through things too quickly for you, just go ahead and pause. You'll be fine, because when you unpause, we will be right where you left us.
That's right. Kyle's going to be on the browser. We're both having a coffee here, Kyle. How unprofessional of us. Kyle's going to be on the browser.
Can we cheers each other? I don't know which direction I'm facing with.
Yeah, it's the other way, Kyle. It's the other way. Other way. Cheers. There we go. Great. Kyle's going to be on the browser. So if you're on a Chromebook or a laptop or a PC or a Mac or something like that, you are going to be following along with Kyle's screen. His screen. And then if you are on an iPad, you will be following my screen. So we will have kind of spare time built in for you there. Okay, so maybe you'll need to pause, but maybe you won't, because once you watch Kyle do something, you're going to watch me do exactly the same thing on the iPad. So we're going to have a bit of spare time built in. Anyway, rule number 2 and rule number 3. What are they, Kyle?
Rule number 2, please finish these challenges, because if you do, and if you notify your teacher that you've finished them, tell your teacher, and your teacher tells us, you're going to get free stuff, or what we like to call swag. We'll send it directly to the class. So there you go.
Yeah, and the only way you can get the swag is if you are registered. If you're just hopping on to YouTube to join the session, you won't get the email about swag. So make sure you're registered. The link to register is underneath the video in the description, and I will pop it up on the screen once Kyle has told us about rule number 3.
And rule number 3, the swag that is extra special VIP swag is reserved for people who not only finish the challenge, but go on to teach it to somebody else. So if there's something you learned today and you teach somebody else, you get extra special swag.
Awesome. Cool. Right, let's get the rules off. If some of you teachers are sitting there and you're going, oh, crumbs, I haven't registered and my class are going to shout at me because we're not going to get the swag, why don't you just go ahead and register right now for today's session? Okay, right? Register right now for today's session. You will get the email then with the form to fill up about the swag. Okay, so the link is there, bit.ly/Adobe leaders. And then why not have a look as well at the sessions we've got coming up over the next few weeks, all the way up to half term. And then before half term, we'll be announcing our schedule for the next half term, which takes us all the way to the summer holidays. Right. Okay, Kyle, I'm going to get my iPad screen up and we're going to just talk about, there it is. We're going to talk about today's challenge page. Let's get that big swirly thing off the top of the screen as well, because we can't see anything. Right. So, to get to this challenge page, as I said, you just need to go to bit.ly/ExpressEarth24. So if you're working on a browser, you just need to open another tab on your browser. You'll have Express on one tab and then go to the challenge page on the other tab. If you're on the iPad, then obviously you're just going to be jumping apps. So I'm jumping between the Express app and Chrome, which is where I've opened this up. Okay, so you can get to this page in two ways. You type that URL in, bit.ly/ExpressEarth24, or if you're on an iPad, you could point your camera at the screen in class right now and scan this QR code, and it'll bring you to this very page. Oh, my light's just gone off. Doesn't matter. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's give it a whack. No. Oh, it's given up. Right. Oh, doesn't not working. Right, so let's have a look at our first challenge today, which is we are going to create a planet versus plastics infographic. So the people that organize Earth Day, they choose a different theme every year, and this year's theme is planet versus plastics. So we're going to put this infographic together, and to help you, you're going to need to choose maybe 3 or 4 plastic facts. And to help you, I've put, I think, 9 plastic facts on the page here. So you can see on the left-hand side, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9 plastic facts. So as we're getting set up, maybe you can start scrolling through those and think about which fact you find most interesting and pick those 3 or 4 facts for your infographic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop over to Kyle's screen, who's on the browser, who's going to kick us off with this. And then we'll jump back to my iPad so that I can catch up with Kyle. All right, Kyle, we've got your screen up. We've got a Shomai from Tavern Spite Primary. Hello, Shomai and Tavern Spite down there, right on the western border of Carmarthenshire. Yes, right. Welcome.
We like those folks on the western border, don't we?
We do, especially in Carmarthenshire. It's the land of milk and honey. That's what we call Carmarthenshire. Right, okay. So, go for it, Kyle. What are we doing?
Well, since we're creating a poster, you could, from the browser, just scroll on down to this row of nifty things you can create in Express, and right here you find poster. Isn't that nice? But if for some reason you don't see it there, no worries. Tap on the purple plus and just type what you want. P-O-S-T-E-R. There it is, poster. And we'll head on over to here where we have a nice blank canvas to work with. And the first thing we'll do, and then I'll pass it over to you, Meredith, is we're going to find a picture of plastics. Let's go to media, search photos, and I'll just type plastic waste. All that nasty plastic. Oh boy. This first photo does the trick for me. I'm just going to pop that right there on the canvas by selecting it. And then I'll select it here on the canvas itself. And using this little rotate option, I'm going to reposition it, drag out from the corner handle, make it fill the entire area. And now that it's there, I'm ready for my next step. And Meredith, I can stop there if you like, or I can keep on going.
Yeah, maybe go one step ahead and darken it. That'd be cool. Yeah.
Here we go. Now, there are 2 things we can do to darken this picture. One of which on the iPad is a little bit zippier and a little faster than what I'm about to do, but it's good to know both methods. So what I'll do now is I'm going to switch over here on the left from my media to elements. And where the elements are, you will find several options up here, different categories, one of which is to the right, shapes. And this is what I want. I just want a simple dark rectangle. I'll tap that. And what we're going to do is take this rectangle and I'll just pop it up here to the top. And using the handles, I'm going to make sure it fills the entire canvas like that. And then I'm going to use this opacity slider here. See this? I can just make it a little bit lighter. So I'm going to bring it down to about 40% or thereabouts. Maybe I'll change my mind later, but for now, that's probably fine. And that is how I made it darker. There you go.
Cool. Right. Let's jump over. We're back on the iPad. So I'm going to switch from Chrome but over to the Adobe Express app. Here it is. Big purple banner telling us that there's a brand new version of Express actually on the way. We've been saying now for about a year that it's on the way, but it's actually coming now because they're putting it in the app.
It's really coming. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually on the way. So right over on the right-hand side, if I scroll across the top with the different types of projects I can create, all the way over on the right-hand side, the sixth one from the end is posters. So I'm just going to tap on that. It's going to give me a text box that I never asked for. So let's get rid of that. Just tap the text box, and under the edit menu, I can hit delete, and that's gone. Right, let's get this photo in. So I'm going to tap add, and I'm going to choose Adobe stock. And top right, I'm going to search for plastic search. And I'm looking for plastic waste. There's the one that Kyle chose there. I'm going to try and go different because, you know, I like being a bit odd. I'm going to use all these bottle caps, I think. So I'm going to choose that. And then once I get the little blue tick, I can tap add one at the top of my screen. And that'll bring it in. Now it's asking me, do I want to pin it to the background or move it freely? Now Kyle moved it freely around and he customized it, but I'm feeling lazy today, so I'm going to tap pin to background. Woo! There it is, it's done. Let's darken this. So I could do the same as Kyle did, but I'm going to use a little bit of a cheat. I'm going to go to looks at the bottom, and you'll see the fourth one across from the bottom is, let's get rid of that banner because you can't see the names there. Hang on. There you go. You can see there underneath each filter, the fourth one across says darken, so I can tap that and it darkens it. I can tap it again, it darkens it some more. I can tap it again and it brings it back to being light again. So you've got 3 layers of darkness. So you've got light, kind of dark, middle dark, very dark, and then it would go back to the beginning. So there we are. I've got my image in and I've darkened it. I hit done, and I'm at the same place as Kyle. So we're back with you, Kyle, on the browser. Go.
All right. Next, we are going to find ourselves some stickers. And the way I'm going to do that using the browser version of Express is to go over to our elements again. And here there's this option for design assets. And I will type STICKER, sticker. And this is what you get. Now, what I'm looking for are these round stickers. See, I've got several of those as I scroll through. Okay. And I think this first one here is quite nice. So I'll just select that. And I'm going to need 4 of these. So I've just made it bigger there, as you can see. The fastest thing I can do is duplicate this sticker. And I'll use this plus sign over here under the word image. 1, 2, 3. Duplicate it 3 times, which gives me now a total of 4 different stickers. And the last step for me here is to then change the color of these stickers. And to do that, I'll select a sticker. And then under FX over here, just tap on that. You have plenty of options where you can use a duotone, or if you want, you can use simply a colorize option. And by colorizing, you can just toggle through different options like this. That's very simple. But if you want to get really specific, you can always use a duotone like this. And you can do the same for all of these. Tap on effects, select a color, tap on effects, each of them until you've got what you like. So let's see how you do that on the iPad.
Yeah, cool. So on the iPad, You have to do one little quick step that Kyle didn't have to do because we don't have those stickers in the design assets. Just got a quick shout out here. Shomai from year 5 at Mindy Primary. Thank you for your shout out. We love hearing where you're joining us from. Shomai, everyone. Blwyddyn Pimp, year 5 at Mindy. Right. Okay. So at the bottom of my iPad screen, I'm going to hit add and I'm going to choose Adobe stock. Okay, so we're not going into the design assets. I've already had a look and those stickers aren't there on the iPad. So we need to go to Adobe stock and I'm going to search for sticker, S-T-I-C-K-E-R, search. And there you can start seeing them. We want the round ones. We want the circular stickers. And I'm going to keep scrolling down because I'm pretty sure that, yeah, there's a colorful one, that blue one there. Okay, I'm going to bring that in. You see it adds that tick. There it is. And I can keep scrolling down. Oh, yellow one. Add that one as well. This is cool on the iPad. You can just go through and just tick off the ones that you want to use. Okay, and you can see at the top next to the search bar, it's saying there add 3. I need one more. So what have I got? I've got pink, blue, yellow. Right, so let's get this orange guy in. Okay, there we go. So I've got 4 stickers selected. So once I've got 4 stickers selected, at the top right-hand side next to the search bar, it's going to say add 4. There it is. Tap that, add 4. I want to move these freely around the canvas. So there it is, move freely. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tap one of them. Tap, go to edit, remove background. And then I'm going to go to the next one, edit, remove background. I'm going to pass over to Kyle because that's all I'm going to do now is remove the background for the other 2. Okay, Kyle, off you go.
Now, you'll notice that there's a little bit of variation in the stickers that Meredith has. If you want to do that with your stickers here, you can tap on any of the stickers. And remember, you can rotate them. You can also flip them horizontally or vertically. So just giving them a little bit of a shift like this is enough to make them feel slightly different from the others. No problemo. Now, we're going to use one of these and make it quite large. I'm going to select the yellow one, bring it down to the bottom here. I'll get these out of the way for now. And I'm going to make it huge. Look at this. Woo! So that is wider than the width of my poster. Okay. And I'll bring it down a little ways like so. And the next thing I'm going to do is find, I'll make it a little smaller. It doesn't have to be quite that big. I'm going to find a picture of planet Earth. Planet we all know and love. Let's go to our media. And let's search for EARTH, Earth. Here's a great one right there. Here's a great one right there. Remember that if you can find one that has a white background, it's going to make it really easy to do what? Remove the background. So if I select this and tap on our friend the doggy, see some little sparklies, and then voila, we have our Earth. And what I'll do is bring this on down here, keeping it centered. There we go. I'm looking for that long pink line that goes all the way from top to bottom. There it is. And we're going to be leaving space, move this down just a hair, for some text. We're going to have some text running down here along the bottom of our poster, which will be telling us the topic of the poster. You may remember it, and if you've forgotten it, it's about plastics.
Yeah, planet.
You'll find it right here on the page. Yeah, planet versus plastics. There's a little sample for you, and you can see how that type is wrapping around the planet Earth. So let's come back here, and this is our setup now. We've got the planet. We've got a little room above it. Okay, so that everything's going to fit. So Meredith, do you want to try that on the iPad?
Yeah, cool. So I've already resized my yellow sticker. So I got that done. So let's get the Earth in. So add Adobe stock. And then I'm just going to tap in Earth. Add it. Okay, cool. Let's choose a picture of planet Earth. So just grab anyone. And I'm going to add that in. Move freely. And then under the edit menu, I'm going to tap remove background. There we go. Done. I'm just going to resize that and pop it into its place. And we're going to have to tweak this once we get the text in, we're going to have to tweak it. So I'm not going to worry too much about where that sits just now. Okay, back to you, Kyle.
All right, so speaking of text, planet versus plastics, that's our text. Let's go to T, text right here, and then this purple bar, add your text. And what I will do is select inside that text box and using all capital letters, P-L-A-N-E-T, then lowercase VS, period, back to capitals, plastics, planet versus plastics. All right, here's a cool thing you can do with the type. I put it in place right there, and look over here. You have text layout options, one of which is Arch. Ooh. Now I'm going to teach you a little trick, okay? If I double tap, there we go, inside the text, and then use my arrow keys, I can move around in between the letters. If I go back to the very beginning and add 1, 2 spaces, and then go back to the very end after the S, and I put another 2 spaces, this is going to give me an easier time resizing this now. Tap away from it, tap back on it, and use these corner handles to resize. And let's see how that fits. Center it very nicely. There we go. Maybe make it just a hair bigger. What you're going for is something that's big enough so it fills that space quite well. There we go. And you'll notice I accidentally put a little period there. There we go. But also doesn't feel cramped. So if it's feeling like, well, I'm getting a little tight here along the edges, just make it a little bit smaller like that. And then make your planet Earth a little bit smaller and make everything just kind of fit nicely. And that's what Meredith was talking about, which is getting things to feel kind of balanced. Okay, each of these elements.
Yeah.
And now the only thing left to do is, I think, make that text a little more interesting. It's kind of boring, right?
Well, I wasn't going to say anything.
Let's go to the recommended fonts and see if Express has any cool ideas for me. This one's nice and bold. I like that better already. And I'll go back now and we can just adjust the size a little bit. And maybe you want to use some colors and things like that. Remember, you can use a fill color, an outline color. So if you want to fiddle around with that and get some neat results, go for it. But I'll pass it back to you, Meredith, while I play.
Okay, yeah. So take your time with this, guys, because there's no way you're going to get this to just line up perfectly right at the beginning. You're going to need to fiddle with where the sticker is, where the earth is, where the text is, and the size of all of those. So I'm going to tap Add Text. And in here, I'm going to type caps, planet, then lowercase, versus VS, full stop, back to caps, plastics. Oops, didn't go back to caps. Plastics, planet versus plastics, and hit done. Okay, there it is. So now, to get the arch, we need to go to Align, and at the bottom there you see Curved. So when you tap Curved, first of all, it's going to actually put your text into a circle. If I tap Curved again, it's going to give me the arch. If I tap it a third time, it's going to give me a bow. But I want, there we go, the arch. Right, so I'll just roughly resize it for now, but I'm not happy with that font. So I am going to, once it's roughly in its place, go to font, and then I'm going to just search for a nice, strong font. A nice, strong font, maybe that font. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to go to color, and I want this text to be white. And I'm going to add an outline to the text so that it stands off a bit better. So I'm going to go to Effects. And I'm going to choose Outline. Tap on the Settings. And I can change the outline color to a nice dark green. And I'm going to bring up the line thickness to taste. Now I'm going to have another look. And yeah, the edge of my text is just crashing off the side of the page a little bit there. So I need to reduce the size of my text. There we go. And then Planet Earth needs to be a little bit smaller as well. There we go. Something like that. I think that's working well for me. So we'll go back to Kyle for the next steps. Oh, I like the blue.
So here we go. So I've got my text now is blue with a white outline. If you're wondering how I did that, remember that under your text options here, you have a fill color. And to the right of that, you have outline. And just like what Meredith was just showing, you have the thickness of the outline that can be adjusted right here. Okay. So enjoy that. Pretty cool to have those options there. All right, now I noticed too that what Meredith did was take these stickers, make them various sizes, and position them in such a way that they kind of go back and forth along our design. So 1, 2, and 3, kind of like pinballing away there. Very nice. And what this is going to allow me to do is to get to the next step where I'm going to be adding some text from our Earth Day information provided on, again, that Express page for the challenges. And a lot of these are really great. There was one that Meredith pointed out to me yesterday that was crazy. It says that, let's see if I find it. Here we go. The plastic bag charge means less people are using plastic carrier bags. Sales of single-use plastic bags in England have dropped by 95% in main supermarkets since the government introduced the 5p charge. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. 95%. Yeah. That's good news. We want good news, so let's grab that one. I've copied it. You can always right-click on it and copy, or you can Control-C or Command-C to copy. Let's come back here, add some text right there. Now, that's a bit big, isn't it? We're going to make that a lot smaller because we know we're now doing a lettering text that's body text. And I'm going to paste. For me, that's Command-V or Control-V, right? And it's super, super bold, this text. Let's take a look at this font I've got. And look at this. I got lucky. There are other weights, they're called, of the typeface here. Semi-bold might be a nice one. There we go. Now, I'll put this up next to my first little bit of my first sticker. I can make that just a hair smaller, maybe. There we go. And this will be my first little bit of copy. Let me show you something neat you can do with your text, because right now I'm sure you're saying, Kyle, I can barely read that. It's too dark on a dark background. Don't worry. We're going to use a shape right here. And there are numerous shapes you can choose from, but I really like this one Meredith showed me yesterday, where if we go to show more, look at this one right here. Ooh, it carries all the way across your design. Okay. And then you can go a step further, and right here, where you see these two little sliders, tap on that and just increase the shape size a bit. It gives it a bit more breathing room around the text. See that? Excelente. Now, if I tap on my sticker and bring it up to the top of my layer stack over here, you'll see that now I've got the sticker, I've got the text, and I've got these going hand in hand. And the only thing I have to do now is find pictures that correspond with what the text is saying. So the first thing I'll do, and this is the easiest part, is duplication station. We tap on it. Right over here, you see the two squares with a plus. When I tap on duplicate, remember doing this with the stickers? Look at that. Just creates another little bar of text. And I'll replace the text with another fact from the website. Duplicate it again. And look at that. I've got all three. Just make sure my stickers are now up here. And I'll go back to the website and grab some more facts and then select this text and paste inside. So let's see how you're doing over there, Meredith.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's catch up with Kyle. So I need some text. So let's just swap apps. So I'm just going to swap between Express and Chrome. You might be using Safari on the iPad. That's kind of the normal browser. It doesn't matter which one it is. And then I'm going to grab my first fact, which is that, oh, this is crazy. So there's a plastic island in the ocean that's 3 times bigger than France.
Oh, my goodness.
And France is big, Kyle.
Yeah,
you know?
We don't want to hear that, do we? That's not good news.
No. So basically, in the Pacific Island, a load of plastic is just kind of lumped together. Somehow. I'm not sure how it lumps together. It's all kind of lumped together, and it's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's made of plastic, and it is 1.6 million square kilometers big.
Unbelievable.
So I had a look at what that was compared with Wales, because the size of France doesn't mean that much to me. I've been to France many times, and I just know that it's huge. But it is that Great Pacific Garbage Patch is 75 times the size of Wales.
Oh,
75 times.
You can't even imagine how big that is. It's impossible to really. I just can't believe it.
No, it's insane. Right. So anyway, I've highlighted the text. I'm going to tap once on my highlighted text. I'm going to choose copy. And now let's jump back over to Express. And I'm going to add text. And up here where it says type something, I'm going to go, no, I'm not going to type anything. I'm going to tap there. And I'm going to choose paste. Don't you tell me what to do, Adobe Express. And then I'm gonna tap done. And it's going to give me a dreadful looking text box. So let's fix this. So first of all, I don't want an outline on this text. So let's just turn the outline off. So under effects, just tap on the outline and it'll turn it off. Now, I don't want this to be all caps. So let's go to font and let's choose a nice kind of body font, as Kyle was saying, something that's going to be nice and clear to read. That's fine for me. So I want the text to be black and have a light shape. So I'm going to go to color and change the text to be dark. Okay, there we go. So that's in black. And now to add my shape in, I'm going to go to effects. And I'm going to go to shape. There it is. And then I'm going to tap the little settings toggles there. And that shape that Kyle showed you is the second one from the left on the iPad. Okay, it's that ABC with the kind of dashed line down the side. So I tap that. Great. And now I can hit done. Bring this up. Just resize it a bit. Now then, this is the only time I'm going to use the corner handles on my text, because otherwise, once I've duplicated, I don't want to use the corner handles. I'm just going to change the font size. And I want to keep the font size consistent on these 3 facts. If you do need to change anything, you can use the side handles, which actually just changes your line breaks. Okay? And it's the same on the browser. You can do the same there as well. I'm not going to go to the corner because that's going to change my font size. Right. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go, I'm actually going to, no, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to go duplicate, and I'm going to go duplicate again. So now I've got 1, 2, 3 of these, like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on my pink sticker, and I go to order, and I'm going to bring him to the front. Tap on my orange sticker, bring him to the front. Blue sticker, bring him to the front. There we go. I can start thinking about tweaking my sticker positions and sizes. I like a little bit of an overlap like that. Don't mind that. Yeah. So, and then that's all I need to do is I need to go back and forth to the web page to change that info. Okay, which Kyle has been doing now. So all I need to do that is come over here, grab another fact, copy, okay, jump back to Express. Now then, this text box I've got in the middle, just double tap and it'll open it up. Backspace to delete that text, tap there and paste to paste in my new text, and done. And you see it's got updated that text box now with the new fact. So I'm going to pass back to Kyle, and that's all I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm going to repeat that process for the final time for my bottom text box. Okay, Kyle, we are back with you. Ooh, some nice angles going on here, Kyle. I like that.
Yeah, you know, this is something just optional. Of course, you can take your text, and if you want to rotate it and create some sort of a zigzag pattern as we move our way down to our title, then by all means, go for it. I also changed the color of the text here to be similar to what my stickers are, only darker, so that the contrast is there and it's very legible. So this is like a more, you know, but these are just little things you can try. We need some images, don't we? So I've got my 3 facts. The plastic bag charge is the first. So of course it's so simple to go into our media and search the photos for plastic bag. And if I do so, we'll find a whole bunch of neat options. Here's one, there's one. Yep, lots and lots and lots of plastic bags. Very simple. You know, now something like this might work quite well. We can all tell what it is, and you can use the crop tools. So what is that? Well, if I select this photo, look over here under the doggy, and you'll find the option to crop something. I'll tap on that. And here are some commonly used cropping sizes and height to width ratios. But down here, you'll find shapes. Let's just use a circle. At first, you say, well, where is the circle? I see one there, but I still see the boundaries of the photo. Now, if I tap away, look at that. Now, when I select this image, I can still use my corner handles and resize things. And this is neat because I can allow this photo to sit on the sticker like so. Now, you can do this off center. You can put it wherever you like. It doesn't matter. But one neat thing that I saw Meredith do yesterday was he took the photo and he reduced its opacity just a hair. And what that did was it kind of allowed some of that color to show through, but it also made it so that if there were those wrinkles in the sticker, those wrinkles kind of came through as part of what's inside the sticker as well. So now all that remains for me to do is to select 2 more photos to represent each of these facts. And then I think we're pretty much wrapped up for this challenge apart from sharing. So I'll go ahead and hunt down a couple of more nifty photos. And Meredith, should I pass it back to you?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm having fun here. I've been rotating my text because I like what you did with yours there. So I'm just playing around with that, which I always kind of get caught up in doing something interesting like that. And then let's stop concentrating. Right. Okay, let's go. So I need photos. So my first fact is about this crazy plastic island. So the 3 times bigger than France. So let's go to add, and I'm going to go to Adobe stock, and I'm going to search for plastic ocean, and I'm sure I'm going to see some plastic in the sea. Plastic ocean search. Couldn't find anything. All right. Let's just go for plastic then. Plastic. Loads of stuff. So
hey,
I need,
all right.
yeah, I need something that shows plastic in the sea. There's lots of them. Is there something that really looks like plastic in the sea? That one there does. Yeah. So I'll grab that. Okay. And I'm going to tap once it gives me the blue tick. Add one, and I'm going to move that freely. There it is. That looks like the edge of a plastic island. So I'm going to tap on that, and I'm going to crop it to a circle by going to Edit, Crop and Shape. And the first option there on the left-hand side is a circle. And then bottom right, oh, let me just get the banner off. Bottom right is done. There we go. And I'm just going to resize that, and I'm going to pop it up there. And I'd like to see that crinkle of paper on the sticker. So to do that, like Kyle just showed you, I'm going to go to opacity. I'm just going to bring that down a little bit until I start seeing more of the texture of the paper. Cool. There we go. So I'm ready now to move on to my next one. We got a little shout out here. Hello from Year 6 Durham Primary, South Wales. Shwmai, shwd chi? Welcome, croeso. Thanks for giving us the shout out. Lovely to have you with us this afternoon. Right, so my next one is there will be more plastic in our oceans than fish by 2050. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Adobe stock, and I'm going to look for plastic. Maybe you could look for plastic fish. I think I'm not going to get any joy with anything except just plastic. Maybe if I go plastic, comma, fish. Let's try that. No, just plastic. Okay. If you're on the browser like Kyle, I've had some luck with typing in plastic fish and plastic waste and all that type of thing. But here on the iPad, we're just using the word plastic. So there's actually a fish shape made out of a black bin bag there, which is very creative. So I could scroll through now. Oh, look at that. It's Nemo in a plastic bottle. How sad is that? Yeah, dear me. Right, let's go for that. There we go. I'm going to move that freely. Now then, I really want to kind of zoom in on that bit of the photo. Do you know what I mean? I just want to zoom in on the fish in the bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Edit, Crop and Shape, and I'm going to choose Circle. But you can see here, I can use the square handles on this crop tool, and that's going to actually change the size of the frame, the circular frame that I'm cropping into.
That's very useful.
Yeah, it basically kind of, think of it as like zooming in on a part of your photo. So I'm zooming in on that bit of the photo. So I really want to see, I suppose I need to make sure that they can see that it is a plastic bottle around the fish. And then once you're happy, just tap done. And there we are. It's cropped the rest of that image away. Okay, so
You know, Meredith, I'm sure you've heard who does most of the cleaning in the oceans, right? It's the mermaid.
Is it?
Terrible joke. I'm sorry.
That was bad, Kyle. That was bad.
Cleaning, maid. I'm sorry. That's the mermaid. You know.
I got you. I got you.
Listen, people come here for the design instruction, not for the jokes. But I'm still going to throw them out there.
And they stay for the jokes. Yeah.
Hey, how do you cut a wave in half, Meredith? You use a seesaw. You use a seesaw.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
All right.
That was a good one. Maybe
I've redeemed myself.
Right, I'm going to pass back to Kyle, and that's all I'm going to do is I'm going to find, oh yeah, this is a bit positive. Scientists are trying to create plastics from more biodegradable materials like not plastic, like corn and cotton. So I'm just going to look for cotton or a corn on the cob type of thing just to get my final image. So I'll pass back to Kyle, who's going to finish things off for us here.
Alrighty, gang. So we are, we're pretty much there. I'm just getting picky with the colors I use behind this stuff here. I'm selecting the text. I go to my shape, and under shape fill, I'm just using the eyedropper tool. If you're not familiar with this, it's very handy. It lets you go anywhere around your document and just select color that's already there. I wanted it to feel a little closer to the Planet versus Plastics yellow sticker that I had. That's not quite the same, but it's getting to be sort of that same kind of feel. So anyway, Meredith and I are very picky. You don't have to be as picky as us, but you know, it doesn't hurt if you're doing design work, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
One final note before I do show you how to share this, and this is that if you're looking for a way to darken your image, but you want to use a little bit of color and you are in the browser, I used this rectangle, but you'll recall that it was black to begin with. I just went ahead and selected the rectangle. I kept the opacity changed so that, you know, it was not at 100% opaque. But look here, we've changed the fill color. And to do that, it really makes a difference. It makes everything tinted in the background with that color, which kind of unifies everything. So that's something else you can try.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. So what do we want to do next?
Yeah,
Sorry?
well, what about sharing, Kyle?
Here we go. Let's do it.
I think
the simple thing to do is to just download right here a PNG. PNG is just an image format like a JPEG. Download that. It'll save it to your computer, and then you can do whatever you like after that. Post it wherever, send it wherever. Or you can share right here, and this will give you several options. If you were to publish to the web right here, it's going to allow you to create a link. And this will just be a link to this image, and anybody can view it anywhere in the world. You share that link, but you can also save it to any of these cloud storage options, and you can even copy the link to the actual project itself if you want a friend to maybe collaborate with it with you on that. So that's how you can get this thing out to the world for people to see.
Cool. Right, and over on the iPad, really similar. So here we are. Here's my finished design. So to get this out into the big wide world, that's all I need to do is tap on. Now, you can't see this because we've got our Adobe Express logo in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Let me just, because I'm kind, I'm just going to turn that off for a second. There we go. So you can see there, right in the top right-hand corner, there's a bucket with an arrow pointing up. Okay, so if I tap on that bucket with an arrow pointing up, I've got both options in here. Well, there's loads of options, but the first option is save image, and that's just going to save this down into your camera roll as an image, as a kind of like a photo. Or if you want to share the link, then you can go to copy link there, and it'll create a URL that you can send to anyone. They can see a published version of your design. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put the logo back in. There we go. And I'm going to back out now. Oh, you also can't see that because I've got this little, if you look at the top left-hand corner of my screen, we've got this little blue icon there, and that's just telling me that I'm sharing my screen. But you will all see a back arrow. Okay, you can maybe just see the bottom of it popping out there. So I'm going to tap on that back arrow, and it's going to take me back to my projects. But if I tap on home, it brings me back to the home screen. Okay, and here on the home screen is where we're going to start our second project. So I'm going to jump back over to Kyle's screen, who's going to start us on the second challenge. And do you know what, Kyle? We are actually 20 seconds early starting the second challenge. It's very good going for us, Kyle.
We're experts. That's what happens, Meredith. I mean, even we had time for jokes, and we still made it.
I know. It's amazing.
All right. Here we go. Let's jump to the homepage. How? Just tap on the little Adobe Express logo, and here we are. Now for this one, we're going to be using a flyer for our little greeting card for Planet Earth. So again, you can use the little purple plus and type flyer, Flyer. Voila, here we go, flyer time. And to kick this one off, we want to be using our photos, our media. So we want to search for a few images just to start things off and make it simple, because we'll use those images, place them around, and do our design. So let me head on over to media. And the first thing I'm going to search for, once again, is Earth. We already did that before. This time I'll use this one right here. It's got a white background. I'll put that over there for now. Next, I'll go back again to my media, and we're going to search for 4 different things. Now, if Meredith can remember all 4, he gets a gold star. The next thing I'm going to search for is an iguana.
Oh, yes.
And I want to use this one because the tail is hanging down like this, and you'll see why that matters later. All right, so we have Earth, we have iguana, and then I'll go back again to media. We got 2 more to go. The next one is leaves. Okay, you'll find lots and lots of leaves, but what you want to find is something where there are leaves like this or like this that are entering from the border of the picture, and then you have some white space in the middle. So something like this might work. You'll find a lot of different options that are like that. And yesterday I used one, but maybe I'll try a different one today. And I like what Meredith, I like what you did yesterday too. You had a slightly different approach. So I think it'll be cool for people to see a couple of different approaches. I'll use this one today.
Oh, cool.
All right, we'll use that. And the last thing, okay, this is the last one, is a flower. So jumping back to media, here we go. Last one, flower. And I'm going to use, I'll use this one today. There we go. Okay, now with each of these 4 images, all I'm going to do is tap one at a time on them and remove the background. So I've just done a lot of stuff there. Meredith, I'll pass it back to you. And if you need help remembering what to get, I'll tell you.
I got it. Right, we're back on the iPad homepage. So flyers, if you scroll all the way to the left this time across the top ribbon, flyers is the first option after custom size there on the left-hand side. So I'm going to tap on flyers. I still don't want the text box, so I'm going to go to edit, delete, and I want 4 images. So I'm going to go add, and I'm going, hey, I'm tapping on you, add Adobe stock. And the first thing that Kyle brought in there was Planet Earth. So let's just put Earth. And I choose you. So I tap on the image that I want. And once I get the blue tick, I'm going to choose add one, move freely. Cool. Now I'm going to hit done. And I'm going to go to add again. Adobe stock. Now, the second thing that Kyle had was a little creature that we have. So, because in this challenge, we are making a thank you card to Planet Earth. We're going to thank the Planet Earth for all of the amazing things in nature that we love. Okay, so this is your chance to choose a creature that you are thankful for. So I'm going to go with a chameleon because they are amazing. I don't want the chameleon to be on a branch or anything like that, because I want to make it look as if the chameleon is kind of walking across the top of the globe, something like that. So I'm going to choose this cheerful guy with a curled tail there. Cool. And then I'm going to add him in. Add, move freely. There he is. Next, then I'm going to do done at the bottom right. And I'm going to go to add. And I'm going to go to Adobe stock. And this time we're looking for leaves. Yeah, so we don't want leaves that totally fill the frame, because we're going to be removing the background. We want to have the kind of edge of the leaves that we can use peeking in from the corner of the page. So something like this one would work. This on the right-hand side there, that would work quite well. Even this kind of, is that a palm frond? I think it is. I'd go with that, just for, you know, just to be different. So I'll grab that and add it in. Move freely. There it is. Okay, you notice all of these at the moment have got backgrounds. Okay, you just can't see them because we're on a white canvas. Right, my final one is a flower. So I'm going to go to add one, Adobe stock, search in the top right, and I'm going to search for flower.
You remembered all 4, folks.
Of course I did. Come on. Come on. Of course I did. And I'm just going to scroll through super quick, super quick, super quick. A lot of these would do, but for some reason, I'm not willing to click on any of them because I feel like there's something better on the way. This is always what I'm like, Kyle. I'm always looking for the best. There it is. The next best thing. There it is. Uh-oh. Try again. Tap. Here it comes. Add one.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good sunflower.
So now I need to do the same as Kyle. I'm going to tap on each of these images. I'm going to go to Edit, Remove Background. Once I've done that one, I'm going to move on to the next one. Edit, Remove Background. Anyway, I'll do that whilst I pass over to Kyle so we can see the next step. Go for it, Kyle.
Okay, well, I've removed the background from each of these. Remember, you tap on the little doggy and bye-bye white background. So let's get going with our design. First things first, I'll tap on the plant. Now, remember I said that I wanted it to enter from one of the sides of the picture. It's going to be coming from the top right. I'm going to rotate it this way and then pop it up there for now, make it a little bigger. It's going to be something like that, okay? And I can always adjust these as we go. Next, our little friend the iguana here is going to be flipped horizontally right here. Flip horizontal, boom. And he is going to occupy this space right here. And then our friend planet Earth is going to be here. Now, you notice I've left quite a bit of space between the iguana and the Earth. And that's because I want to, like we just did a moment ago with our text for the planet versus plastics, we rotated the text around the shape of the Earth. We're going to do the same thing here with Dear Planet Earth. And the flower, what's that for? That's going to be my little sign off at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to be putting my name there, and I'll say love, comma, Kyle. This is a Dear Planet Earth. Here are the things I really want to thank you for. Love, Kyle, like a little letter to Planet Earth. So we'll just let that sit down there for now. Maybe it'll be over here. We don't know. We'll just leave it there for now. And that is the arrangement of things. The last thing I'll do quickly is I'll just say for my text, add text, and Dear Planet Earth. I'll put a little ellipses, dot, dot, dot. And let's select that text. And look here, arch. That's what we want. Remember that? And I can then position that over here and get that to feel about the right size. As long as it's not too close to anything, doesn't feel like it's, you know, crowded or cramped. Okay. Now you can also tap on it. You can rotate a little bit, you know, and I'll use an interesting font. Okay. So you want to take us to the same spot there, Meredith?
Yeah, cool. Okay, so here's my jumbled up collection of images. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit by pinching on the outside of the canvas. Right, let's grab my flower. And let's just pop that down in the bottom out of the way. And let's move the leaves up there, and I'll have a play with those later. Let's sort out the planet and my chameleon. So just get my planet kind of the right size, similar size to what Kyle had. And now I'm going to bring my chameleon down as well. And I just want my chameleon to look as if he's walking across the top of planet Earth, because that's not crazy at all. Right, there we go. Cool.
I like that.
So with my leaves, I need to do something creative as well here. So I think I'm going to have my leaf like that, rotated, bigger as well. Just like these fronds to be bigger, but I'm going to duplicate that. So I'm going to choose duplicate under the edit menu, and then with this next one, I'm just going to spin it around, bring it down a little bit.
Good idea.
Yeah, just maybe frame it a little bit. Now the cutout isn't great actually, but no, that looks fine. Right. Maybe I'll just shift this one over. Yeah, I'll shift that over, and I'll bring the chameleon right to the front. So I'll go to order and bring him forward. Yeah, that works better. Right. Cool. So now we've got text. So I'm going to go add text, and it's Dear Planet Earth. dot, dot, dot. Done. Right. So you remember from last time, I can get this in a circle or an arch or a bow by just going to align and go to curved. And then I can go. Now, it's not going to work for me to go to have an arch like Kyle's got because my chameleon is in the way. So I'm going to go for a bow, which is the downwards curve. And I'm just going to curve it around the bottom. And I really like that idea of rotating it. There we go. Something like that. But really, I should have thought about my font before I started getting into details of positioning. So I'll go for this here. This is quite cool. I like this font. There we go. Something like that. And I think I'm roughly in the same spot as Kyle there. So we'll go back to Kyle and there you go.
I really like that font you just chose. So I went ahead and changed this to green, just so it's, you know, kind of in keeping with our theme here. But you don't have to do that. You could also use a contrasting color, like maybe a pinkish red or something. But one thing I do want to show you, this is pretty cool, is that if you have a photo like our iguana friend here, and you want it to feel a bit more sort of connected to the other design elements you have, you notice this green I have for the plant is very bright. It's very cool. But our iguana's green is very desaturated, very dull, and a little bit warmer. I can use the adjustments right here. And look at this warmth. Ooh, let's go cooler. See that? And then let's bump up the saturation. See this? So this is making the color brighter. We'll go cooler and cooler and cooler. And look at that. Now we're kind of getting our iguana friend to feel a bit more like the green color is closer to what we have here. You can bump up the contrast. You can bump up the brightness, the highlights. There are all kinds of things you can do to make this feel just a bit more unified with the other colors that are there. So just if you want to play with something like that. All right, the next thing we'll do is use a shape or go to elements. You remember where your shapes are right here, shapes. And this is the one I want, a big circle. How big? Well, it's going to be so big that I'm going to zoom out a little bit, pinching on my trackpad here. I'm going to make this enormous. First thing I'll do, though, is change the color right here under fill. And I am using a custom color. So you have swatches normally, but custom. I'm going to make it a greenish color and then very, very light. See that? Up here at the top. And it's just going to be sort of a background element. And you'll see how it works. Once I've got it, I'm going to make it enormous, like this. Okay, really big. And then, did you know you can actually squish the shape a little bit?
I did not know that.
You can squish and then make it even bigger. And this is just going to be sort of a little container for some other elements down here. And the only problem I have is that it's overlapping the earth and the iguana. But remember, you can rearrange your layers. So we'll put that down to the very bottom, like so. Yeah, now we're ready for the next little bit. So I'm going to just move that to the center. And that's me for now. So do you want to give that a shot?
Okay, yeah, gotcha. So I'm going to go to add, and then I'm going to go to shapes, which is in the middle here. And under these shapes, you can't see a circle straight off there, but if you go to more, you'll see the fourth one along there is just a solid circle. So I tap on that, and then I choose add one in the top right-hand corner. Right, so there's my circle in a really disgusting color. So now let's change the color. So I'm going to tap on it, and I'm going to go to color. And that's the color that got chosen for me for some very strange reason. So I could go to custom, like Kyle showed us there, and I could go and mix a nice kind of pale green, which I've just done. There it is. Or you could have just gone into swatches and scroll all the way over, and there's probably a very similar color right there at the end, actually, there. Yeah, so, right, now then, I'm going to tap done, and I'm going to pinch on the outside of my canvas, and I'm going to take my design right down to be tiny. Now I'm going to tap on that circle, and I'm going to drag to make that circle really, really big. How big? So big
Huge.
that we want the top of the circle to kind of look like the top of a gentle hill, you know?
Yes, nicely
So
said.
you don't want it to be, that's too curved. I want it to be flatter. There we are, like that. And now I'm going to bring it up. And what I want to do now, because I've got my text underneath the planet, maybe I'm going to bring this over, and I just want to kind of, the text is either needs to be on this or off this color, really. You don't want it to be kind of half on, half off. So I'm just going to bring the circle up so that it's hidden my text like that. And now I'm just going to send it to the back by tapping on it and going to order, and I'm just going to drag that all the way to the left. Yeah, like that. And then I could just tweak it. There we go, like that. It would be a bit strange if it was like this, I think, wouldn't it, Kyle? You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Splitting the text with the shape. So I'm going to just do, yeah, like that. Okay, cool. So we've got different looking designs now, Kyle. We've gone on our own little tangents. Here we are.
I think they're both looking good. All right, now the next thing I need to do is take this text, and let me just zoom in so you can all see this clearly. Take this text right here and duplicate it. All right, and I'll just get it off of this curve here by tapping on default. There we go. Make that a bit smaller. And this is what we're going to write. Thank you for, colon. Put that all on one line. And I'll position that here. So it's kind of like we can see it. Dear Planet Earth, thank you for. And I'll go ahead and make that a bit bigger. Thank you for what? Well, we're going to show you for what. And if you use your design assets right here, remember elements, design assets? You can search for arrow. You'll find all kinds of nice arrows. And I really like this one here. I'm looking for a curved arrow. If I rotate it and then flip it, I can say, look, folks, thank you for, and then direct people this way to say this is where we're going. Now, the color, of course, is a problem, but remember, you can, if you want, under Effects, Colorize. See that? It's going to give me options based on what's already there. I think that one works fine. Thank you for, and then now this is where we're going to add some things that we're thankful for. Now, in the example that we have on our webpage, we have 5 different things, but we don't have time for that today. We'll just do 3. And you can add more if you wish. And very simple, you're just going to use the media and search for photos of the things that you personally are thankful for in the natural world. Could be the sunshine, could be the trees, the mountains, it could be the streams and rivers and waterfalls, whatever you like, maybe the beaches, things that you love. And you find some photos and we'll go from there. So I'll pass it over to you, and then I'll begin my hunt for a photo, or if you want, I can start with the first photo and then pass it to you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, just make one photo then and then pass over. Here
we go. Media. One of the things that I'm thankful for is beaches, because I love beaches. So I'm going to write beach. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Ooh, so many pretty pictures. So many. Let's just use this one. And just as we did before when we were using our stickers for the previous design challenge, I can use cropping and put it in a circle. There it is.
Cool.
Very nice. So we'll just size that down. We're going to have 3, so it'll be like a 1, a 2, and a 3, that kind of thing. Maybe in an arch like this. And you can do different designs, but that's how I'll do this one. Okay, right. I'll take over then whilst Kyle's going to find another 2 photos of the things in nature that he's thankful for. So let me get to that point. So I'm going to duplicate my text. So I've got the Dear Planet Earth text there. So tap on it, edit, duplicate. There we go. So now I've got 2 of those. This one, however, we don't want to be in a curve. So I'm going to go to align, and I'm just going to change that back to left. And I'm just going to rotate it back to be square. And let's just double tap in there. Tap, tap.
Thank you for, and then colon. Done. Cool. Thank you for. And let's just resize this a little bit like that. Cool. That's going to fit there. So my layout is a bit different to Kyle because my green circle in the background is higher up. Okay, so thank you for, and let's just get our images in, I think. So I'm going to go to add, Adobe stock. And here in Wales, we got some amazing mountains. So I'm just going to thank you. Let's type Wales and see. Oh, look, loads of nature photos here. So let's choose an image of a dramatic image of a mountain. Oh, that's a castle. Wrong one. Sorry. that's not naturally there. Untick that and then choose the mountain underneath it. There we go. And once it's done, once I get the blue tick, I will be able to tap. There we go. Add one. Great. Move freely. Tap on it. Edit. Crop and shape. Circle. Done. Okay, then that's done. So that's my first one. Our wonderful Welsh mountains. What else am I thankful for? Well, I love the wildlife we've got here in Wales. We got some amazing wildlife here. I love seeing the birds of prey flying above. They're all over the place, really. So, look for a buzzard. It's one of the ones we see quite a lot in the countryside in Wales. A boda. So we'll search for that. Choose a really dramatic-looking image of a buzzard, like this one. I'm going to add that in. Right, and now you know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to crop it to a circle, and I'm going to add my final image. So I'll jump over to Kyle's screen whilst I do that, and Kyle can take us to the next steps.
All so right. This is again a really easy thing to do, which is to I've duplicated the photo. The original one I had was already cropped, and then I duplicated it. Remember this little option here with the plus duplicate, and then I've positioned these three so that they're evenly spaced. Using the guidelines, those pink lines that show up, they snap the image into place. And then what's really cool is now that I already have the cropping done, I can replace the image by using this option here. It's 2 squares and 2 arrows. So what else am I thankful for? Once I hit replace, it brings me back to my image search. And now let's say a rainforest. We need those rainforests, folks. Some really nice images here, really, really pretty. I love this froggy, that's great. But it is the forest itself I think I want to highlight, so maybe I might just do something like that, or like that. Oh, I like that. All right, so you see what it's done. It's maintained the cropping, and remember that if you wish, you can double tap on any of these images, and this will bring up multiple handles, and you can reposition, resize the image and the cropping however you like. Okay, so that's something you can adjust to your heart's content. Very nice. So for this one then, I'll just go ahead and do the same thing as before. Tap. Let's replace it with something else, and we'll say wild animal. Ooh, tigers, so cool. Tigers are cool, aren't they? I mean, I don't want to see one. I like looking at them from a great distance. Don't want to be anywhere close to a tiger. Thank you very much. But they are pretty nifty. Although these are beautiful birds. Let's see. Got some birdies. Got some giraffes. Got some meerkats. Some zebras. Anyway, you know what? Isn't it fun to just look at these beautiful animals? But let's go ahead and let's select our friend the tiger. There we go. And like I said before, just double tap, make it bigger, reposition. Whoops. There we go. Put our tiger friend right there. And now I've got those images. And the next thing to do is to simply label them. So I'll label one and then I'll pass it back to you, Meredith. This is the great thing about using shapes with your text. In the previous challenge, we used the shape that extended the entire width of the canvas. This time we'll grab some text. I'll duplicate it, That just makes my life easy. I can just put that wherever I like, pop it up to the top here, and just simply call out the things that I'm thankful for. Double tap to edit that text, and let's just say beaches. Now, once I have the text selected, here are my shapes. This is a good one for this. This is a pill shape here. And there are many, many options you can see, right? Look at that. You can select, for example, this one's very nice as well. It's kind of like a little flag. Maybe I'll use that today. We'll pop that right there. The colors are not working right now. The text color is fine. The green is fine, but that yellow doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? I'll zoom in so you can see that a bit more closely. So instead, what I'll do is I'll actually tap on our options for the shape right here. Remember these little sliders? And let's, for our text, actually use just plain old white. And then for our shape fill, we can use the green we were using before. So if I just tap here for a moment, I'll be able to use my eyedropper tool to select that green. Shape fill, eyedropper, green. There we go.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll increase the shape of the size of the shape just a bit to give it some breathing room. And now I've got my label. And you know what to do next. Just duplicate it a bunch of times and label your other stuff. All right, back to you.
Now, I've got, I'm going to do something similar to Kyle, but it's a different little hack, really.
Like the hacks.
I'm going to duplicate my thank you for text. So I'm going to go to Edit, Duplicate. There it is. And yeah, I need to bring this to the front before we get started. Just bring it right to the front. Okay. So let's just double tap in there. So one of them was our coastline. Okay. So there it is. So let's just get the size of this right, because this is too big at the moment. Right, there we go. Something like that. That's the kind of size I want to go for. Maybe a bit smaller again. But let's add a shape. So I'm going to go to Shape, which is under Effects, Shape. Okay. And then let's tap the Settings button. Right. So let's look at, let's get a bit creative, and let's choose one of the funny looking shapes. So maybe this one here. Okay. Now that's cool. But what I'm going to do, I'll just make it bigger so that you can see what shape I've got. Now that is cool. Now I could just put it under the bottom like Kyle's done, and that looks really cool on that image. But another little hack you can try, okay, I'll make it large so you can see, and I like this, is to make the color of the shape the exact same color as the background. So if I go to this end, and then where it says there the color, I can use my eyedropper and I can choose the exact color of the background. Okay, so now the shape behind the text is, oh, but days, I just changed the color of, changed it to the color of the text. There we go. So now the shape is the same color as my text. So I'll just hit done. What you can do then is you can just overlap that shape over the side of your image slightly. And it kind of looks like somebody has taken a pair of scissors and cut the background out and slotted your round picture in between. Okay, because we're using the same color. So now I'm going to
cool effect.
Edit, duplicate again, drag that up to there. There we go. Drag this one over to here. There we go. And that's all I need to do is double tap on these. Tap, tap. So buzzards. And this one. Yeah. And then I just want it to overlap. I want the edge of that text box to be off the shape. That's what makes this effect kind of work. And then this is mountains. Done. Yeah, and you could have it off the other side just to change things up a bit. There we go. I'm happy with how that looks. So I'll pass back over to Kyle, who's gonna finish us off, I think. There you are, Kyle.
That's it. Here we go. One more thing to do. I'll simply duplicate my text one more time, bring it down here, and say love, comma, new line, Kyle. And again, we'll use a shape. Let's go to shapes, and there's a circle. How convenient. Change
Yep.
the color of that. We'll just go like this. And well, folks, I mean, that pretty much does it right there. We'll just pop that right there
Yeah.
in the middle of my little flower. And now everything is centered as it should be. Ta-da! And there's my little message. Now, as before, you need to share these, right? So I would go to download it. Same process before, or share it. Those many ways we mentioned before. So if somebody wants to do that last little touch there on the iPad, what do they do, Meredith?
Yeah, so I've duplicated one of my labels there, and you can see I've just gone into effect and I've changed the shape to this kind of rough circle shape. So what I want to do now is I'm going to switch these colors around. There we go. So I've just basically swapped the dark and the light color around, and that's me done, really. There we go. Let me just get it as big as I possibly can. Yeah, that's cool. I could center that text, but I actually quite like it with the love to the left and then my name underneath. So I think I'm going to leave it like that, actually. Yeah, so sharing is the same. Yeah, sharing is exactly the same. Your top right-hand corner, you've got the bucket with the arrow pointing up, and you can share your designs in exactly the same way like that. All right, okay. There we are, Kyle. We're done. Now then, before we leave you guys, we've got some favors to ask. So the first one is that if you're watching this on YouTube, it would help us a lot if you like the video and subscribe to this channel. That'd be great. Okay, that'd be amazing if you could do that, please. But also, if teachers, you've been taking photos of your class whilst they're working this afternoon, and we know that a lot of schools do this just so that parents can see the kind of fun activities you're doing in class. We would love it if you tag us. Okay, if you're posting anything, if you happen to be posting anything on social media about the stuff you've been doing around Earth Day, it'd be great for you to tag. So Kyle is Kyle T. Webster. You tag me at Meredith J or Meredith Jones, depending which platform you're on. But also, it'd be great if you could tag our bosses, who are Adobe for Edu, so that they can see all of the cool stuff that's happening around our live lessons here in the UK as well. So,
Indeed.
So like, subscribe, and tag, please. And now I feel like a proper YouTuber after saying all those things, Kyle.
That was perfect. I love it. Yep, that did sound very YouTube, but that's where we are. We're here on YouTube.
It's where we live, yeah. So finally, if you haven't yet, teachers, take a look at what we've got coming up over the next few weeks. So just pop over to the registration page, which is bit.ly/Adobe Leaders, and take a look at what we've got on the menu for you in the next few weeks. We've got something every week now, all the way up to half term, and then we'll be publishing our schedule for the next half term, which takes us all the way up to the summer holidays. We are not going anywhere, guys. We will have live lessons all the way to summer holidays, and we're looking forward to having you join us. Right. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks again. Great to see you as usual, and thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you had fun.
Absolutely. Okay, well, bye for now.